Okay, hi everyone. I just wanted to thank everyone who participated in our first live group chat yesterday. I really enjoyed seeing some of your faces, and I really appreciated the really insightful ideas about behavior that people shared, and I liked engaging in conversation with you. So thank you for that. I'm hoping to do at least maybe one group chat or one class like that a week, depending on what we're covering, and if we have, something that we could discuss as a group. I think that would be great. I realize now that I need to watch the timing a little bit because a lot of you had to leave a bit early to get to your next class, and I forgot about that. But we will keep it shorter next time. So there's instructions online today for what you should be doing. A quick reminder to please post your thoughts on the videos, on the 3 videos we watched, and your explanation of that behavior on our team site. I created a channel called Group Discussion Lesson 6. I'm getting some glare on my glasses there. And that's where you post it, and then everyone can kind of see each other's ideas, and that's where I will look and read over your ideas for that task. And you'll also get participation marks for reading your peers' ideas and commenting or giving a thumbs up if it's something you agreed with, or adding on to it if you have something to add on. So we will do a little bit of virtual group discussion that way too. So that's your first task for today. If you haven't, to take some time and post your ideas about those videos there. And I'll read through them maybe in a day once everyone has a chance to post and look at each other. So take some time to read your peers' comments and then do the post there. We got cut off at the end of our discussion, and I was just starting to show you a couple of slides of notes on the PowerPoint I was sharing with you, and then I know some people had to leave. So that's what I wanted to just explain a little bit today. I've attached a PowerPoint, and there's some definitions in that PowerPoint I would like you to copy into your notebooks if you're keeping a psych notebook, which I strongly recommend you do. So we were talking a lot about why people didn't get involved when they were seeing something that was clearly wrong in those videos, whether it was the date rape drug or the drunk doctors. And we talked a little bit about how when a norm is created, it becomes really hard for individuals to break the social influence of the norm that's created by a group of people, or even really just a few people. And I told you about the experiment with the room filling up with smoke, and the idea that this is kind of seen over and over again in psychology. So if you return to that sheet I gave you a couple of classes ago saying why study psychology, and we're looking at those 4 main goals of psychology. First one being description of some kind of interesting behavior, which I gave you those videos and you saw the interesting behavior, and then you all provided explanation, or you formed a hypothesis, an educated guess about what you think was causing that behavior, which is exactly what psychologists would do. And then I told you if enough psychologists agreed on a hypothesis and they started testing it, and it was proven to be true over and over again, that would become psychological theory. And theory is what we're studying for the most part in this class. Things that many psychologists have agreed upon, and things that have been tested and proven to be true about human behavior. So the real life example of this that we were talking about, and it's the first slide in your PowerPoint, is that case study of the young girl in the 1960s who was stabbed in New York City by an attacker who stabbed her and then went away for a bit and then came back and continued to stab her. And it was witnessed by 38 people because it was in the parking lot of an apartment block. So 38 people witnessed this. Nobody went to her aid. In class, if you were still there during the discussion part, we talked about how they might have been in shock, or they might have been afraid to confront someone with a knife and someone who was committing a crime. But the very interesting thing that psychologists found interesting was that nobody called the police. And so this became interesting. This is interesting human behavior for a psychologist. So nobody called the police for quite a long time. And the sad part, is that when someone did choose to call the police, their response time was 2 minutes. So again, had someone taken the initiative to make that call, right, then obviously that girl would have been alive. So this was interesting to psychologists.